guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. This is literally my first video, my first gardening video. I've been gardening for 4 years now. We purchased our first home in 2020, and I literally had the inclination to start gardening. I feel like it was a divine sign from God. It was around the same time I got saved, and then God just started putting on my heart to start to garden, to start to grow food for myself and my family. And I recently got into medicinal herbs. I'm really excited about that, and I want you guys to share in this journey with us. So our goal is to eventually own a homestead. Right now, we are gardening. I say we because my family helps me sometimes. My daughter, she's 7. My husband's not really into gardening, but he goes along with it because he sees how much joy it brings me. But we are gardening out of our backyard. We live in an HOA and we have a lot of trees in our backyard. So we're just experimenting and enjoying it so much. So I'm not a real technical person. I do use some apps. I use the planter app to help me plot out my garden. I do garden year round. I also do square foot gardening. I try to do companion planting, but for the most part, I just try to throw things into the dirt and see what works, to say a prayer over it. So I'm very excited. I hope you guys will join this journey with us as we embark on our 3rd or 4th season gardening. Again, eventually we hope to move with a large piece of land and have a larger scale garden. But as of right now, this is sustaining us. This is amazing and we love it. I'm going to give you a tour of my garden and then I'm going to show you what I'm getting into today. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing my pepper plants from the pepper bed and I will be potting them up because I'm going to winterize them. It is the 2nd week of October and it's starting to get pretty chilly here at night. I'm in Virginia in zone 7B and it's starting to get really pretty chilly at night. And I can see that the peppers are starting to, what's the word? Have some discoloration on them. Of course, there's the production is slowing down and I want to save them. Last year, I planted quite a few pepper plants and did not get one pepper, one pepper at all. This year, this summer, I got tons of peppers. So I want to winterize these. So when the next season comes, the summer season comes, I'll have a head start and I won't have to start all of my peppers from seeds again. I do start from seed. This is my 2nd or 3rd year starting everything from seed. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to pot those up and bring them in the house and winterize them. I watched a couple of videos about how to winterize those. So that's what the plan is today. So let me give you a quick tour, and I say quick, and I'm a talker. I'm going to try to be quick with it, but we shall see. All right, let's take this journey. Okay, so the first plant that we have is our Meyer lemon tree. Now, this baby is tall. It's gotten so tall over the course of the summer because it has been outside. We bring it inside during the colder months because we do live in a climate that gets fairly cold. Now, we don't get a bunch of snow, but it gets too cold out here for this Meyer lemon. Now, the one thing I will say is that we have not gotten one lemon off of this tree. This tree is 3 years old. Not even a hint of a piece of fruit growing. So if you guys have any suggestions what we should be doing if you're growing lemons out of a pot or wherever, please give us some suggestions as what we could be doing to help this thing produce. Now, I will say that I did notice that it had, I believe they're called scales, little small bugs growing on the underside of the leaves and the stem. And I did watch some videos about blasting them off with the sprayer. and pruning the plant and trying to get it back healthy, because if you don't do that, then the fruit won't come. So we have been doing that and we see new growth coming in. It's just that now we're way too far in the season to even get any lemons because it's going to have to come inside soon. So we'll try again next year. This pot right here, I started from seed this summer. It's a lemon balm and stevia plant. It's been growing pretty well. I see some dead things that need to be picked off, but I've also been propagating them, meaning I will take a piece of the stem right here and I'll cut it off, take some of these bottom leaves off, put it in some water, and then it'll start producing more roots. And once it does that, I can plant it and I'll have a whole entirely new lemon balm plant. So I'm in the process of doing that because I plan on having this in the house, a smaller version of this in the house, so I can use this for my teas and things and my tinctures and things like that. Our stevia is starting to go to seed. And once these dry out, we will harvest those and plant some more stevia. I'm in the process of propagating that as well. I'm in the process of propagating a lot of our herbs. We have our toothache plant right here, which is an amazing plant. This is our first year growing this. It looks a little sad right now, but it's been holding up. We went on vacation and it started to die. My mom tried her best to keep it alive, but it's still producing. It's still producing, and it does exactly what its name says. It helps toothaches. So if you have a toothache, you can literally just pop these off fresh. We tend to dry ours to preserve them, but you just pop it off, chew it a little bit wherever your pain is, and almost instantaneously the pain goes away. It is a great medicinal herb. We have our bee balm up here that's a little worn out, but it's been shaded out almost all summer. It only gets a couple of hours of sun, as well as most of our plants, because our backyard is full of huge trees and we are not cutting them down no time soon. So yeah, my husband's going to give you a shot of all the trees. Honestly, I was worried when we first started gardening that we wouldn't have enough sunlight to grow peppers or to grow tomatoes and things like that. But we've actually been doing fairly good with that. Now, they may not grow as rapid and we might not get an abundance of harvest like some people, but we're still getting something. So I'm happy with that. Next over here, we have our oregano. Now, I did purchase this actual one from a big box store a couple of years ago, and oregano is a perennial, so it just keeps growing back. And when it does seed, I just get some of these seeds out of here and I'll sprinkle some in the box so it can just keep growing and getting fuller. Now, I started this planter box this past summer, and I propagated some rosemary that I had. And so now I have two plants. It started as one and now I have two. I propagated them and planted this other one in here. We have some summer savory that's growing right here. I started some sage a couple of weeks ago. And then this time I actually just purchased from our local grocery store. They had these plants on sale for like $1.99. And that's way cheaper than trying to go to a big box store and purchase them, because those are like $6 for a little Bonnie cup. But this, if you go in your produce section, you can find them in the soil very cheap. Next, we have our mint. Now, this mint is about 2 years old. I got a medicinal herb kit full of like 32 different seeds, and it had a bunch of different mints in it. And I'm not exactly sure which kind of mint this is, but it just keeps growing back. The more I cut it, the more it grows back. And that's the good thing about herbs. The more you cut them, the more they grow back. Just like lettuce, cut and come again. Next, we have our yarrow and we have our horehound. These two also came in our medicinal herb packet, and they're about the same age as the mint. We have another oregano. We use a lot of oregano, and this was started from seed also about a couple of years ago. Down here, we have our volunteer avocado. Now, this was actually growing in our compost bin, and I saw it, and I was like, this looks like an avocado. So I asked my husband to dig it out because it was actually growing through one of the holes in the side of the compost bin. If you can see this curve, it was growing out the side of it, and we were able to save it. So I'm excited about that. Now, if you don't know, volunteer means that you did not intentionally plant it, but it planted, it grew, it sprouted itself. So we had threw an avocado pit into the compost bin, and it's just started growing by itself. Next, we have our holy basil that was started from seed this summer. It is going back to seed, and I have just been picking all the seeds out here to continue to grow holy basil. Holy basil is one of the best medicinal herbs that you can grow. It is amazing. It has so many great healing properties. Next, we have our mixed greens. We have some marigolds growing back here that I started from seed over the summer, and they're going to be fine back there. But we started some mixed greens over here, and I can see that this is some kale right here. I believe it's red Russian kale. And then we have some, this looks like it's some arugula or rocket as they call it. And I'm not exactly sure what these other ones are, but this is a gourmet green mix of seeds that we have. And then we have our outrageous lettuce right here, just so we can come and have a little bit of lettuce when we need it and not have to walk down to the garden. I keep saying walking down to the garden like it's super far. It's not, but I know as it gets colder and if we have snow, I'm really not going to want to walk down the stairs where it is. So I'll take you there now. But before we get down there, I will stop and show you the compost bin. So this is our compost. We just literally got a trash can from Lowe's, drilled a bunch of holes in it, put this opening right here so we can pull out the processed compost once it's finished. And we just throw our leaves in here. We throw our kitchen scraps in here, all of those things. My husband turns it, and we have gotten some great compost out of this. So if you are not composting, it is so easy. So this is our little kiddie pool project that we had started a couple of years ago. I don't have anything growing in it right now. I'm waiting for my herbs to come, my herb seeds. I purchased some more medicinal herb seeds, and I'm waiting for those to come, and I'm going to start those seeds in here so they can be closer to the house once they start growing and stuff. So usually what I'll plant in here is cabbage and squash and things like that during the summer, and it actually doesn't sit right here during the summer. It sits down beside the shed, but I bring it up here for fall and winter so I can garden and put other things in here. I may put some lettuce in here, things that are shallow rooted. I mean, it's pretty deep, but you know, some things are very deep rooted. Like I wouldn't grow a tomato in here, but these are great alternatives for container gardening. And then we have our raised beds that we created. Now I will show you what it looked like before, because we recently over this summer, it was either this summer or last summer that we reorganized all of these. But this is usually our tomato and cucumber bed because it has our trellis right here and we can trellis things up. But right now we have some cauliflower in here. We have a bunch of different lettuces in here. We had some Halloween mixed radishes growing back there. We also have some Brussels sprouts and some broccoli rabe growing in that bed, as well as some radicchio. Outrageous lettuce. We got some bloody dock, also known as sorrel. A bunch of different lettuces, some bronze beauty lettuce, some green romaine lettuce, some Simpson black seeded lettuce in here. We got some Chadwick Roden, I believe it's pronounced. And then we have some emerald oak that's growing in the house. Oh, and our Landis winter lettuce. That lettuce is like the best lettuce I have grown in this garden so far. The Landis winter. I got beautiful heads of lettuce over the last fall and winter season. And again, we started all of these from seeds back in August. They look a little sad because I planted them right before the hurricane came, but I did not know that an actual hurricane was coming because I don't really watch the news, but I saw the forecast that it was going to rain for a couple of days, and that was the perfect time. Overcast and raining. It didn't say it was going to pour down raining, but that was before I had actually put down the straw. So I had transplanted my seedlings out and they were doing pretty good, but then we got torrential rainpour. So a lot of them died, but the ones that survived, they're slowly growing. Again, we don't get a lot of sun back here. We also have some holy basil in here. We have a few um, kales in here. We have some dino kale up here, and we have some 1,000 head kale. Now this kale is going to get huge, and I love this kale. Kale and collards, they are biennial, so they can continue to grow. They can grow for at least 2 years. Some have kale and collards that grow way longer than that. Back here is my daughter's strawberry bed. She loves it, but we haven't gotten many strawberries out of it. I do see a few little flowers trying to come through, and then we have this one little baby strawberry coming through. We're going to have to pull these up and plant these somewhere else where it can get more sun. I know strawberries require a lot of sun, but see, that's the whole beauty of gardening. It's about experimenting, and we didn't know any of that when we started gardening. We just figured, hey, let's throw some stuff in the dirt and pray over it and let God do his thing. And I mean, we did get some strawberries, but not the harvest that we could have gotten. Now, this is usually our lettuce bed during the summer because we do have this tree from our neighbor's yard that is shading the area. So it's very good for our greens in the summer. But right now we have some beans in here. We have some chard. We have some Fort Hook chard, and we have some Swiss chard, the 5-colored chard. And then we have some Cherokee wax beans. We have some blue leg bush beans over here. We have some black-eyed cow peas over here. And then we have some contender beans. Now, they were looking a little sad because of the storm, but they're starting to come back up. We do have some seeds in the house that's growing. I do succession planting, so we have a lot more of the chard that's coming in that I will put out here, so everything's not growing at the same rate, but that we can be constantly harvesting. That is my goal this season, to continuously harvest. So I will not have to go to the grocery store to buy any lettuce, to buy any kale, to buy any collard, any of those things. So next, this is our brassica bed. We have about, I'm not sure if I said this already, but I do square foot gardening. So you can't see it, but each section of the beds are marked off into square feeting. And in here, we have 4 collards per square foot. So we have a total of 24 collards in the back 2 rows right here. And then we have some pak choi in the next row up. And then we have 2 rows of red Russian kale, blue dazzling kale. We have some Siberian kale. And then in the front right here, we have some winter choy. And I'm so glad I got this netting. I actually purchased this kit from Temu or Temu, however they pronounce it. It was very cheap and it's been keeping the bugs out. Now I'm going to swing you around over here and show you these pots right here. We have some marigolds that I started from seed this past summer. They were actually down in the garden and I pulled them up and repotted them so I can have some more space. We have some asparagus. It's looking really sad because again, I had no idea what I was doing and I bought the actual asparagus, I guess you call roots a couple of years ago. Asparagus takes about, I believe, 3 years to be ready to actually eat them. So we started harvesting our first asparagus this year and they were so sweet and juicy and tender, but how I planted them was completely wrong. I did not spread the roots out. So they're growing a little too close together. Now I did start some from seed also this summer and they're starting to come up, but we don't plan on living here forever. So this is why we planted them in the containers instead of in ground, because these should last forever. And when we move, we want to take them with us. We have 3 blueberries right here. We have a pink berry and 2 blueberries. The garden didn't do that well this summer at all. And I was hearing that from a lot of people in our area that their gardens was not doing that good. And then we have our blackberry bush over here. This is about 3 years old. It was super big and I chopped it back down for fall since we're now into fall, and it will just continue to sprout. Like this is a new cane right here that came up this summer. And then I see another cane that's coming up. So we're excited about that growing. Then we also have some strawberries that have been growing over here. And this one in this pot, I believe, is the everbearing strawberry. And I believe it's called an alpine. Oh, the white ones. And I started some from seed and they didn't do very well. So I end up going to the store and purchasing one. Now this is our pepper bed. We had peppers and cucumbers in here over the summer. The cucumbers, of course, have died off, but we still have some peppers. And these are the peppers that I was saying that I plan on winterizing. We have a shishito pepper. Now I don't know what's going on. It feels like it's gotten a disease or something. It was flourishing and just putting off so many peppers, and I see little flowers starting to form, but it's just looking very sad now. Behind it, we have our baby sweet peppers, and those things have been growing so amazing. We've been harvesting constantly off of that, and I love that. And so I plan on winterizing the shishitos, the small peppers. We have a jalapeno right here. It's kind of small, so I'm not going to save that one because I have another jalapeno over here that I will save. Now we have some type of bell pepper. We had a cow wonder, a multicolored one coming in, but I believe that died. So I had to pull that up. So I'm not really sure what type of pepper this is, but it was growing pretty well. So I will winterize that. And then we have this jalapeno right here that's going pretty good. And like, I don't know about y'all, but I get so excited when I can actually grow something from seed. Our first year, we bought all transplants from Lowe's, spent hundreds of dollars buying transplants. They did amazing, but why buy a plant for $6 when you can buy a pack of seeds for $2 and grow lots of plants? So And on top of that, my mom actually works at a big box store and she gets free seeds when the season is over. So we actually have thousands of seeds. So there's no need to actually go out and purchase any plants. We also have interplanted some of the fall crops because we needed space. But today will be the day that these peppers come up so we can start preparing the soil. So this is a bed that me and my daughter made last week. We haven't really put much in it, but we do have 2 cabbages and then we have what's this? Type of lettuce is this? Some more Landis winter lettuces right here. But we've left some space because we got some more kale that we're going to plant. We got a bunch of different more lettuces and we have some collards and stuff, but they probably won't go in here because this bed isn't that deep and we want to put the shallow rooted things in there. So we'll put more lettuces than we will brassica in there. Next we have our garlic and our carrots. And then we have our butterfly sweet pea flower back here. And this makes some amazing tea and it makes great pink lemonade. The garlic came from the store. I actually have purchased seeds, bulbs from Baker Creek last fall, some garlic and some onions. They got attacked by some type of onion bug or something. And I said this year, I'm not going to spend that much money again when I can just get some from the grocery store and plant it myself. So we have our garlic here, and then we have a variety of different carrots. Now I have it in my app that shows me exactly what type of carrots they are. We have our moringa. It was actually about 8 feet tall and I chopped it down the other day and harvested the branches in hopes that number one, I can bring it in the house during the winter because I know that this is a tropical plant, but to encourage it to bush out when it grows again. We have another sweet pea. It has stopped producing, but we're waiting for the seeds to dry up so I can harvest the seeds. Back there is our grape bush. I've already cut it back for the fall. And then our Japanese eggplant. This did amazing this past summer and I see it has so many flowers. Yeah, that's going to be an eggplant. Has so many flowers growing on it. So I plan on winterizing this as well. I'm going to keep it out here as long as I possibly can. Yeah, I know they're so soft.
And they feel pretend.
They feel fake. They feel pretend. That is our little backyard garden. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, please let me know. I want us to grow together. I want us to learn from each other. Again, we aren't technical gardeners. We're not experts, but we're not novice either. We're just growing and learning as we go and doing what seems right.
Sometimes we run out of fruits and vegetables and we just grow more stuff.
Exactly. So now I'll show you how we are going to winterize the peppers. Okay, so I had to cut the video short because I totally forgot that I had placed a grocery order pickup. And in the middle of gardening, it popped in my mind and I said, oh my goodness, I had to go pick up my groceries. So I'm going to have to make a part 2 of this intro video where I will show you how we dug up and winterized our peppers and where I placed it and all of those things. So consider this just an intro video to our garden, welcoming you into our home, hoping that you enjoyed our little garden tour. And we pray that you come back for more so we can grow together, not just in the garden, but grow together as a garden family, grow together personally and in the things of the garden. So thank you for joining. If you have stayed this long, it has been such a blessing to share our little piece of the world with you. And I will talk to you next time. Bye. One more thing, I forgot, we're officially a YouTube channel now, so we have to do all of those things. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, post a comment. Tell me where you're gardening from. What state are you in? What zone are you in? What are you gardening? Are you fall gardening? Do you year-round garden? Do you succession plant? Are you an expert? Are you a novice? Are you somewhere in between like we are? Let us know. Let's communicate. Let's grow together. And if you did like this video, make sure that you hit that little bell so that you can get a notification when part 2 comes out. Be blessed. Bye.
See, it's a broccoli. See, it's a broccoli. See, it's a broccoli.
Oh no, it's gotten so big.
I see a little one right here. I'm gonna go up first. Ooh, I want to eat that.